Hello everyone and welcome back to another Last Cloudia video. Today we have very exciting news as the 6th anniversary for Last Cloudia is starting on Thursday morning. It is your boy DK covering it as usual. Today we're going to go over the newest unit, actually the part 1 unit. I believe there should be 3 units for the anniversary. I really do think that the last unit's going to be Lilaha, or the one that won first place last year. I really do think it's going to be her, judging by what we were looking at the calendar, but I could be wrong. It should be 3 units, so I think last year was 3 units. It was Kyle, Leodore, and Ray. Really cool units. I did like them all. Ray was a little gimmicky, but he's actually really good, and I love playing with the HP cap stuff. Very unique. I'm not a big fan of his sprite, but I did really like that unit. So this year, again, I'm sure we're gonna have a lot of bangers. We have Roland starting off with part 1, and I absolutely love Roland in the game. They just do a great job on him. Everything about his sprite work. He was one of our first top DOH units that everybody was looking forward to, because back in the day JP was ahead of us and we were behind a little bit until they synced up, but JP did get Roland first and we were just jealous, twiddling their fingers until he came out to global. Finally did with our first UR Dravana, and he was just so much fun to use. So he will be a single wheel dark unit in this game. We're gonna go ahead and go through the video that was provided to Ada Says. I did watch the live stream with everybody else. We did a watch party, so we did discuss a lot of things there. If you didn't catch that, definitely watch this from beginning to end, because we're going to discuss a lot of stuff here today. I'm going to try to keep it as short as possible, but again, we are going to be discussing so much throughout this video. So I'm going to go ahead and play the video. I'm not going to talk during this video because I absolutely love this little short that they gave us, and it's very good. So we're going to go ahead and launch it. All right, guys, so we have Ascended Roland. I absolutely love the name. We're gonna go ahead and talk about his kit real quick, but we're gonna go over his skill count and stuff like that here. That trailer was so good. I really do hope we see more of this kind of style of gameplay in the story when it comes to cutscenes and stuff like that. It almost looks like they are trying to maybe do something a little different, because usually it's kind of the generic Last Cloudia and then they kind of show like screenshots of something, but this was, you can tell they put in a lot of work here for this. This 3D item here, this cutout of Roland, I mean, it really does show that looks like they are trying to do something different this year. Potentially could make the game pop up a little bit more on people's phones and maybe keep the game floating a little bit longer. So we do have Ascended Roland and S1. Now S1 was kind of shown during the live stream. I was impressed on how quick it was. It looks like 9 hits total on the S1. Now this was, I love this, guys. I absolutely love it, because original Roland had this. Now this was one of the first kind of like dual animations that we had at the time when Last Cloudia first launched, was him and I believe that's Dravana, or I forgot I don't know. I get confused on these dragons sometimes. Yeah, so the dragon animation was part of his first appearance, and then the second one we kind of did something a little different, but of course his sprite work has been top tier every time they make him. Dragon didn't really pop up too much in the shift, but we brought it back and it looks so damn good. Probably one of my favorite animations in Last Cloudia in general is his dragon animation. Love it. And that's probably why I really like Arc so much, because I don't know, he's just dragon, transformed into a dragon. Maybe I'm attracted. Yeah, maybe I just like dragons. So we have let's see, let's try that again. So it looks like we're gonna have 13 hits on the S2. Again, the sprite work is so damn good. And then we have the S3 looking like an AoE type. It's looking pretty damn wide. It covers a lot here at 18 hits. Now, if we look at the dragon attack, this looks like it covers, it's not going to cover the whole screen, but it is going to probably up to two enemies, maybe some behind, but it might, let's say arena, if they're lined up straight in a line, it'll most likely hit two and then leave out, well, basically the two standing next to each other. It's going to probably not do like a full screen attack or anything like that. But guys, look at that. That looks so good. S3. Oh man. Yeah, everything looks so good so far. S4 is going to be 54 hits, I believe. I was kind of disappointed that they didn't do a animation, for like an anime animation. And this is kind of like the generic we have gotten quite a bit of this, where it's just a zoom in of the player, and then you zoom out on the enemy while he's getting destroyed in the air. I kind of wish I did something a little bit different there, but I mean, it is what it is. It looks good because the proportions of Roland look really good. It looks scaled well. Normally I feel like they make him real tiny. So I really just like everything they did with him, with his animations, skills and whatnot. They did something absolutely huge for this unit though. So it's gonna be fun to talk about. When equipped with only one weapon and using a skill, you have a chance to give a unit the demon plate buff for 5 seconds. 5 seconds is very quick, but it is enough to pop off 1 to 2, maybe even 3 skills, depending on how long they are, which just goes out pretty quick. And it's on boss wave. Of course, when using a skill, you're going to get the demon plate. But like I said, it is a chance. We did catch on stream that it was pretty consistent. But I know they did fire off like 2 S3s during the stream and it did not proc. So maybe 20% chance, we don't know yet. But on boss wave, you will always give that first skill chance a demon buff. So on boss wave, he's going to be a boss killer. Absolutely destroy the boss. So what happens on this demon plate buff? Pretty cool. It's going to be SCT recovery of 400%. It's the craziest recovery ever. Like honestly, it's wild watching it. We watched it during the live stream and it was very fast. But also this is the huge part right here. Critical rate 100%. Now we just don't have it. Potentially if we ever do get more bow stuff, we potentially could hit that crit rate mark, but as of today we've not hit 100%. Nothing like this. So every skill that he uses after using the first skill and demon plate proc will be a crit. This is huge, and for damage and for, well, it looks good. So all hits will be gold, and max cap depending on depending on the enemy's weakness. So we'll talk about that too. When attacking, nullify enemy evasion. Very nice. They can't dodge it. Skill damage is 50% and 50k cap. That's a lot of damage, honestly. Skill damage 50%. It's kind of, usually you see 30, 40, 50 is actually really good to see, because it just gets better from there, honestly. So we have dark damage an additional 40%. So that's going to be 50% skill, 40% dark. A lot of stacking on that multiplier. We're just barely on trait 2. So damage cap an additional 75k. When taking lethal damage, he survives and very greatly restores HP and removes all STR debuffs, STR, defense, INT, MND debuffs. During a lot of times, some of the enemies will debuff you in game towards the end when they start to get weaker. So he will just remove all that stuff before if he gets hit with the lethal hit. Once per wave, of course, excluding some debuffs. Now there probably is something unique out there that it won't work, but it just depends. When using a skill, can't be interrupted by most attacks. Amazing. They gave him super armor, another top tier skill that we like to see on any single willed unit. So yeah, can't complain about that. And then we get a massive 50% damage taken from physical, magic, counter damage. Now, fortunately, this will not work on specials. This will be just physical, magical, and counter. So we're so close there to all damage, but not there yet. So still very good, which potentially could make him a PvE and PvP unit. So really cool. Of course, testing for PvP is necessary, unfortunately, but just on paper, it looks good. Moving on to, we have, let's see, skills here. We have skill 1, Ragna Geyser, instantly close the gap for a medium area. Dark combo attack that launches enemies into the air. It is a 2-parter, so very nice. Skill 2, Abyss Flare, frontal long range dark combo attack. And so by far my favorite. Ether Quasar, we have wide area dark combo attack. Very nice. So that's what I'm saying. It looks like it's going to clear the field pretty well, which could, if he does, you know, show some promise in PvP, he could be a problem. Powerful dark combo attack to all enemies for the special Apocalypse Zero. Very nice. So skills look absolutely great. Nothing too crazy there for support, enhancing HP, nothing like that. So he's just pure raw damage, which is exactly what we want. So for the skills, there is one thing in here that did catch my attention, and I'm wondering if they're going to correct it, because it seems incorrect. We have anti-psychic arts. We have use 50% of units max HP to restore one incapacitated ally, restores 100%. What I really like about this is that if for some crazy reason he is a good tank / DPS, that could be heavy DPS at that, he could actually, and it doesn't say, this is not locked by guild versus guild or PvP. So this can be used in both arena, guild, and PvE. So that this actually could be huge. It doesn't say. Wait, 1. Okay, it is 1. I just want to make sure it's nothing. There's like a so it is just 1, but it's a good support. I like it. Because honestly, yeah, no, I like it. I like it, especially in arena. Arena could be, because arena you have lives, and once the lives are gone, you get a free revive. So nice. We have Demonian Battlefront, nullify SCR and INT debuffs from active skills, exclude some debuffs, chance to nullify critical attacks. So very, very cool. Basically a built-in royal armor. You could probably stack royal armor with it if you'd like for PvE, PvP, if that's something that you guys do. But it does stack, or should stack. Of course, it is a chance as well, so not guaranteed. Retribution, when equipped with only one weapon, boost dark damage cap against enemies weak to dark. This is very important to read and kind of make sure you guys understand this. We have, and of course, this is for newer players. Older players, they'll get this easily, and they're going to love it because it is fun to nerf the enemy. Especially in newer players, it's going to teach you how to make sure that we keep those resistances down so that we can make sure we get the full benefit of his kit. So what happens here is we're going to have to make this guy weak, minus 50 res, and he'll get 50k cap. So he gets 1k cap per -1, or I will just read this: for each 1 minus resistance cut below 0. So basically make him -50. You'll get the full cap. Very nice. It's pretty simple to get. Most enemies will have their weaknesses. If you have a level 10 Thea, which is really highly recommended these days, that should lower the res minus 50. We also do have high weak. We have Gen. If you have Gen, he has a really cool chemical. And we also have like Giga Weak for all enemies, and we have options. And then of course your circles. So there's also other things you can do. Yeah. Anyways, I'm not going to get too deep into that, but you are going to make sure that you need to keep him at minus 50 resistance so that we can cap. So very important. But a 50k cap is definitely worth to keep him at level 50, and it makes you cap easier and better. So very nice. Demon Infinity, when equipped with only one weapon, critical damage is 30,000. Recover 1 skill stock about at the start of battle. So basically it's a active quick trigger. This is, and it will stack with quick trigger. So but honestly, I wouldn't even run quick trigger on him. His SCT recovers me off the chart. So this is very nice to start off with. Of course it is going to be random. Yeah, it's be random, but it's a nice built-in quick trigger without actually wasting a slot down here. Next thing we have is Auto EX Brave. Now this is the first time we're getting continuous or Auto EX Brave. This is a continuous 50% STR buff. So very nice, and yeah, absolutely love it. The person that we just got this on was the new Sarah. She had the EX buff active, and yeah, she can cast it on you guys, but it's great that he comes with it. I don't want to ever see how much that's going to cost if you try to equip something like that on the unit. I probably put it at like 20 SC. So it's very good that that is on him. Really cool on the next skill. Favorite sword 2. It says form 2, but it's favorite. We're just gonna call it favorite sword 2. When equipped with only one weapon, physical attack damage is plus 30% and physical attack damage plus 30k. This will stack with favorite sword 1, so make sure that you do equip that. You absolutely want to run favorite sword on him, so you'll want to stack these on top of each other, and it's huge damage. It's 15k for the other one too, and there's also percentage damage behind it, so definitely make sure you stack that. That should be the first thing you do. Heroism up max, very nice, just stats. SCR defense and HP plus 15%. Dark attack raise 5, very nice. This is going to be very expensive outside of already a built-in innate skill. We are getting those slots, so I did see a 20 SC, so this is something that might cost like a 20 SC slot if it ever comes available on like a UR arc. I'm almost positive they will leave this attack out on a collab unit and therefore make you chase the damn attack raise 5 to get it. I don't know. Hopefully it doesn't happen. Hopefully it's on something else. Really good free skill. A lot of his skills that come on his kit are very high SC cost. So it should take very little to build based on what we have here. So far, we're definitely going to use 15 SC for favorite sword 1. We're going to use, and then I'll just kind of throw out some random skills as we're talking about this. Instant Strike 2. We have, when equipped with a single weapon, physical attack crits have a chance for damage 150% and damage cap plus 100k. This is a chance, of course. In being single wield, it might not proc as often as you'd like, but still seeing an extra 100k cap is really good. For PvP, it could mean a possible live or death situation. If it procs, it's pretty bad if it procs. But yeah, super cool. Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. Dark Drive Breakthrough 3. So dark physical special damage 5k when equipped with only one weapon. You get 10k instead. So he is going to be single wield. There should be no reason in hell you'll be dual wielding this unit. So make sure we keep one sword on him, and so you get that full 10k there. So keep that at a single wield. Weak point shield. Now this is the thing that I'm not too sure if they messed up on. So we do already have weak point shield. It already exists on Sheeta years and years ago. Basically, when weakness hitting the attribute weakness is attacked, damage taken is -10. So on Sheeta it is -30. So I don't know if that is a typo because that is not a new skill. Maybe they messed up the wording on the weak point part. It might get corrected when he actually launches. So we'll see how that works. I'm really hoping that it was a typo on the percentage damage because -30 on weak point is absolutely busted. Love it. He's not going to be perfect in terms of resistances, so making sure that he survives when his attribute weakness is being attacked is very important. So let's hope that something goes up to another 20%, honestly. If not, they might have to change the name. So the next skills here are the basic innate skills. We have HP up max, attack up max, resolve, Heroism 3, Pride 2, Bless Speed. Now these two I don't really care for. The next two I'm going to talk about, I felt like we could have done maybe Auto Fort. I know it's kind of a lot of tankiness going on, but I think it fits his kit a little bit more. Unless Auto Fort, Auto High Fort or whatever is on one of his paid weapons or armor. So that's probably maybe why they left it off. I'm really hoping that he does get a paid sword and paid armor. Instead of the crappy 50 cred one weapon. I just don't like that. I really have like a cool set for him, especially with him using armor and a sword. So let's hope that we get that. So Bless Speed, I don't really care for Bless Speed because it increases movement speed, and I just don't care because his S1 is gap closing. So you're already going to be in front of the enemy when you use it. He has super armor. It can't be interrupted. You can start emptying the S3 out of that. I mean, there's just so many different ways that he can close the gap between enemies. I just don't think he needs speed. So it's kind of a dead skill in my opinion. Again, auto haste, another dead skill. I could have easily swapped that out with something else. He has 400%. He has 400% SCT recovery on bosses. It's kind of crazy. I don't know why that even exists. It just kind of blows my mind that they constantly throw on auto haste. I just don't get it. I really don't. As an Anni unit, I feel like more attention should be put into that because it just doesn't make sense to do it. Auto high protection is always very good. Dark Drive 10%, Dark Giga 30%, two-handed sword crit and percentage, which is he has no crit outside of this two-handed sword. It's unfortunate, but like I said, he will have 100% crit on boss wave after using a skill, and then of course during waves he'll have a chance. Two-handed sword boost, very nice. Two-handed sword boost 4. Two-handed sword boost 3 will be on the new UR. Of course, they're gonna make you want something to pull for that UR, it's gonna be on there. So if you get the UR and the unit, you're gonna have a nice little damage cap too. I believe it's 9k cap on that damn thing. It's really good. Armor Giga boost, very nice. Shadow Armor 2, special boost. Divinity Buster, she does come with some Slayers. Now this is a really good stacking ability here. We have Magnus Sharp Eyes, which is going to be a percentage use of MP, and this is going to give you 50%, I believe 50% physical damage and or damage. It's physical, whatever, because he's a physical DPS, and 5k cap I think on this one. I'm almost positive on that one, but I could be wrong. But this also stacks with Sharp Eyes. So with that said, that's 100% when using a certain amount of MP. I think it's 3 for Sharp Eyes and 5% for this, so a total of 8. So yeah, let me actually double check. I'll double check it here in a little bit, but again, it's irrelevant. It's a percentage of MP being used for massive damage, so it will stack with Sharp Eye, so I would definitely do that. One thing I would do with this kit is I'd probably run Goddess Kiss. You definitely going to want to keep his MP up so that you make sure that you're capitalizing on MP usage. So make sure that you are doing that, instead of running like as some people were talking about running crit. Instead of running crit, I would just keep his MP up. So definitely run that. Let's see. Let's see. Archbeing Blessing, Royal Feast. Royal Feast is really good. Basically keeps his stocks up. Very nice. Pose of Glory and Proud Force. Proud Force is going to be very nice to keep his health up. Like I said, he's not going to have crit outside of that big 100% on boss wave, unless it procs, right? He's going to be healing out. Yeah, he's going to be healing out like crazy, honestly. Let me check something out real quick. Let's see here. Let's pull this up over here, guys. We'll do Lakes Gold Mine, because I actually want to see this real quick. Lakes Gold Mine. Cloudia. I actually forgot what this does. Let's see here. Let's do this skills, and we'll do Arch. Let's see Arch. Okay, it's not pulling up for me. It's fine. Oh, here it is. Okay, cool. I forgot about Archfiend Blessing. It just kind of hit me last minute. When receiving lethal damage, deduct 50 MP to activate the following. So twice per wave, survive with 1 HP, heal 100%. Yeah, so good. I knew that was something crazy. I almost skipped this. This is very important. Archfiend Blessing is amazing. When receiving lethal damage, deduct 50 MP to activate the following to self. So this is why you're gonna want Goddess Kiss. You definitely want to make sure you're keeping that MP up. So yeah, Goddess Kiss is 100% needed for them, and he's not gonna have any trouble recovering, because one, you're keeping that you're gonna keep that resistance as best you can, minus 50. So therefore, your single auto attack should easily cap, and you should easily get a return on your MP. So I'm very important, guys. I would definitely run three things I would run immediately. Favorite Sword 1, Sharp Eyes, and then Goddess Kiss. So I think that's pretty good. And from there, you can just kind of play around with the kit. You can add just more damage cap, just have fun. So before we jump into the arc, because of him having 100% crit, the best arc for me would probably be Pursuit build. I would definitely use Icy Guardian. If you want to have fun, just go crazy on the caps and just pray that Insta Strike 2 hits. You could be hitting up to, depending on how much cap you're running, built in, or other characters giving you multipliers, stuff like that. You could definitely be hitting 500k. Yeah, 500k caps easily. So really cool. Just a couple ideas. But I think a Pursuit build for this guy is going to be definitely top tier. E6, so damn good. Special damage is plus 30, damage cap plus 5k. That's pretty mid. But as we get a little further down, it gets absolutely insane. So when hitting attribute weakness, which you most likely will, you should be, you will get 10k cap. Let's see here. We have Sword Mastery 2, physical attack plus 20%, damage cap plus 15k instead. We're going to go ahead and ignore the whole 7500 because you're going to be running single wield. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. Armor Mastery, we have a very nice defense, 50% and damage taken minus 10. Now this is all damage taken for the 10%. That's going to be including special, so it helps him out a little bit. He also does have a 15% physical reduction and a 15% magical reduction. This is the craziest thing I've ever seen on the unit. When won't faint for enemy attacks, that's okay, but max stock skills +1. That is insane. That is a built-in purple orb. That is a Council of 10 trait. That is, yeah, there's also an SSR arc that does it. I know the name of it, I just can't think of it. But so basically you could stack this with purple orb, you could use this on his E6, and then you could like do something ridiculous like use Council of 10. I mean, this dude could have stocks for days, and then you can run stock 1 and 2, because unfortunately we don't. I swear, if his weapon or armor comes with an additional stock 3, I'll lose my mind. This guy is going to be DPSing hard. He actually, so we were talking about Shout Tier, because Shout Tier is still top tier DPS in the game. He will, I feel like he's going to out DPS her in longer fights. She's just so fast at what she does. So as far as speed, she definitely does take the cake on speed. But as far as longevity and DPS, he's going to take it because he doesn't have any like timed conditionals. Everything's based on hit counts on boss wave. So we just got to make sure that it's active after using a certain skill. So yeah, really, it really is. And his capture's so high, and then built in, and then we're going to go ahead and go a pursuit route, which is absolutely insane. So yeah, he's going to be taking it for top DPS in the game. If it's just, we're just talking raw DPS without any kind of timer and conditions. So very, very good. The next thing here is going to be the new UR Mechagod Asuratron. Asuratron, whatever. Arc trait, we have when equipped with only one weapon, all attribute damage is plus 40%. This is busted. So damn good. The reason why it's so good is that it is all attribute magic, which I'm not going to say his name, but we all know who's going to use that. And it's scary to think about. Damage cap is 7,500. Damage cap to demonic types, another 7,500. So this is very close to a fully decked out Soul Blade. So yeah, 15k on that. Wait, yeah, on that. It's kind of nuts. Beasts, creatures, undead, and spirits, of course. If you're not hitting that, you're gonna lose on that 7,500. Battle start, give all enemies a physical attack damage minus 20 debuff. It's gonna last for 40 seconds. And then we have nullify piercing effects from enemy attacks. It's very rare that we see anyone really using guard. But that's gonna be more used for PvP. This arc is gonna be heavily used in PvP, I promise you. So not much in PvE. But it is a really good arc for PvE. Don't get me wrong. Most people will use this, especially newer players. If you have this, if you manage to get the unit in the arc, you can use this on anybody as long as it is not a non-attribute unit, because it's all attribute music, all attribute damage, unfortunately. So definitely a damn good arc. And for once, I can say arc skill. This arc does not have a skill, however, it does have a powerful arc trait. It's true, it does. Going to the learnable skills, we have Dark Drive Breakthrough. We have a physical and special cap 1500 when equipped with only one weapon. Effect is 3k instead. That's okay. Soldier Shield 2, very nice. Will mostly be used in PvP. So very nice. Demo Judge Wedge. Battlestar, give all enemies an attribute resistance minus 10 debuff. Now, and a chance to give silence. This thing is disgusting. And here's actually a fun fact on this one. So we do not have this except for one arc that will never return again. I know, and I'm saying that because I really don't think it ever will return. It was on a collab, and it's called Gaze of the End. It is Battlestar, give all enemies an attribute resistance minus 10 debuff, and I believe chance to curse. This is chance to silence. Yeah, these two of the rarest arcs in the game are one of them has this skill on it. So it's very cool that not only did it take almost 6 years to get that, but yeah, it does exist now. So many other players will now take advantage of this. It is a very good skill, especially in PvP, and heavily used. So really cool that everybody's starting to get it, which is kind of unfortunate because it does just kind of point out that we might not ever see ReZero again, and I'll never have Amelia or Homegirl. So Shadow Armor 2, continuous Shadow Wall effect on unit, and then Two-Handed Sword Boost 3. Now this is the one he is lacking in his kit. As you can see, is a whopping 9k damage and 30% physical and special. Very nice. I will 100% run this because if the slots open up and you do get this guy, I believe, to plus 30, which is very possible these days with the God's Prisms and stuff like that. Yeah, it looks like it might cost 20 SC, which means it's a free slot. So very nice. Knight's Mindset sword, and then is there one that's missing here? I only see that on there. Yeah. So honestly, a fantastic arc. R2, the art's just great. So for the 100% arc ether reward, we have a really good accessory. This thing is very, very good. So we have a crit rate accessory, which only one exists in the game, if I'm not mistaken. It is the choker. It is a 3% crit rate, very similar to this, but doesn't have the stats of this one. So this one also has a damage cap of 2k to bosses, and then we also have very nice stats: HP 500, STR 125, and 62. I'm trying to think of anything else that's crit. I know a lot of weapons will have crit rate, but I believe for accessories, this one and the choker are the only things that exist. Crit rate is very, very important in this game. A lot of things can benefit from it, so I think that's why they're kind of chicey when it comes to accessories, unless it's like a paid equipment. But yeah, attribute resistance also, we have +5 to thunder and +5 dark, and a whopping very nice +1 to stun resist. Yeah, this thing is good. So we have stun resist. So if you are stun weak, this will put you to stun res. If you're stun res, this will put you to stun nil. Very nice. Like I said, we're going back up. Thunder resistances always help out, which means that he possibly could be weak to thunder and dark, maybe. Majority of the time they're weak to their own elements, but we'll see how that works out. And like the stats are so good. So this thing is very good. Very good and very impressive AER. And of course, guys, we are going to be ending this portion of the video because I can already tell you, pull him. I definitely think he's worth it. After seeing his kid and talking about it with you guys, it makes me more excited to pull for this unit. It's, of course, he's not guaranteed, so unfortunately, we don't know. But we're gonna go ahead and move on to the portion where we discuss the actual event itself, and of course, I'll give you my opinions on what you should do during the event to kind of make sure that we kind of keep you on the right path, because it is very important that you kind of potentially follow these directions during the Anni. Like I said, this video might be a little bit long, but I'm gonna try and make this last part as quick as possible. So let's go ahead and jump into the next part. All right, guys, we're gonna go ahead and talk about the events that are actually happening during the last Cloudia. I want to throw a big shout out to Egichu. He's very active in my Discord. He definitely took the time to make these little slides for us in the Discord to kind of go through everything after the anniversary stream did end. So we're gonna go ahead and try to go through this as quick as possible. So the first thing, we're gonna have a 4-week 6 Anni festival. During the 4 weeks, they should be giving us an additional 2 more characters potentially. So the first part of it, on the 10th, we are getting 3,000 crystals and a 6th anniversary frame, which is very nice. On the 10th as well, we are getting our first UR trade ticket. Now up to Logzeus sealed, so very nice. And then we also have a unit trade ticket. Of course, for me, the only unit that I don't have is Telioso, so that will be what I'll be using it on. I really don't have anything else I would use it for. But for you guys, we're gonna definitely, so the biggest thing here, for the biggest takeaway from this, as exciting as this does sound, we definitely want to make sure we do not use these 2 tickets to the absolute very last day, or when you're absolutely done summoning, you have nothing else to go for, and then from there you can go ahead and pick what you want. That is very, very important information, so make sure you guys follow that. Do not use your tickets during the anniversary until the last couple of days when you're absolutely sure that you are no longer pulling on any banners and everything has been depleted as far as the free spins as well. Now we do have the trade ticket as well. Now this will allow you to pull up any weapon you want based on the creds. So if it's a 50 cred, it's usually 2 tickets. If it's a 4,000 cred, if it's a 25 cred, it is going to be a 1 ticket. So, but inside the shop, they're going to be rated by gems because we have to use crimson gems to buy the weapons. So with that said, 8K costs are going to probably be 2 tickets and 4K costs are going to be single tickets. So you can get 2 4K costs or 1 5K or 1 8K. So moving on to the next part, we are going to be having just a bunch of promos, ability gates. This is all going to be this is not that super important. Updates and then that. Okay, and then like I said, I do feel like Goddess Liliha will be the 3rd unit of the Anni, and I do actually believe that the 2nd unit might be something story related. So it might be one of the bosses we fight in the game during the story update. I think that's the way it's probably going to rotate around as far as characters. So it's probably going to be Roland, the boss that we fight in the game, and then it might be Liliha. Just hypothetically speaking, it's a chance I'm taking when it comes to what I'm saying. It's based on my opinion at that. The next thing here is the very important 300 free spins. Now, one thing this doesn't include, but if we watched the stream over and over again, and we did hear Kit say this. So during the stream, you will have, it's a new system they're doing. It is a step up gotcha daily spin. All right. It's up to 300 free spins. So for 30 days, I believe, yeah, it's going to be just constant pulling. After a certain time, you will get guaranteed SSRs and right here, guaranteed unit on lap 3, step 5. So that would be, I believe, the last step. I'm not too sure what the steps are going to look like, but I think if it's 10 steps per, I don't know. We'll see how the structure is. But basically, there are portions where you are going to get a guaranteed SSR arc or guaranteed hero. Now, Kit did say this, and I did play it over several times. He does say SSR arc or higher. So that means that there potentially will be UR arcs in this banner along with DOH units, as it is confirmed there because you can see Adele there floating above the top of it. That is absolutely huge. We did this 1 year and 1 year only, and it was a blast. Even I pulled about 3 URs out of it, and that was only 25 spins or 20 spins. This is 30. So this is going to be very exciting for a lot of people because it's potentially you could pull your favorite UR based on this, okay? That's why it is very important that you do not use any of your tickets until the last day. I would definitely hate for you to really want a Dell and then pull a Dell during banner and then not get somebody like Teliosto or whoever is available. It's gonna be a really stacked banner, so chances are pretty high. Also, like I said, your chances, and also the pickup character, there's going to be a lot to choose from. Definitely making that window as small as possible by using this first will be the most important thing you do. So make sure you do follow that. We did talk about the crest. Now, this is all great stuff. This is what I was talking about earlier on the slot stuff. So slot 1 unlocks cap at 110. You get a free SC settable, 7 SC settable. Now, like I was saying on slot 3 there, I think that two-handed boost is going to be 20 SC. So if you get them to 130 and you have those prisms saved up, that's not a bad idea actually. That big skill is going to cost you nothing. So really cool that's going to exist. I love how they're changing the structure around. We do have 2 new insights coming in May 22nd. We're very excited for Celios. I'm a little excited for Vaughn, nothing too crazy. We do have Advocate of Gods Douglas's insight. Now this one is going to be, this is one I've been waiting for an absolute very, very, very long time. And I swear they just kept dragging their feet on it. I was a little disappointed to see that it is not exactly what I wanted. They went more of a DPS route, but he does come with some really cool stuff for a tank. He's mostly a guard unit. But they gave him a lot of DPS, so we're gonna go and do testing when he drops. I'm not too sure if I'm even gonna inside him at this point, because they did announce the Bayonetta rerun. Now Bayonetta rerun did have Jean, which is a really good tank, and potentially her stuff has not been Godforged yet. So it's gonna be a toss up right now. So I'm definitely gonna hold off on the Douglas insight. unless it's absolutely busted from testing as far as tank, because Melza really just kind of takes the cake on insight tanking. So I'm really excited to see how Zuggas performs, and I'm also excited to see how Jean or potentially her insight could be, because we don't know fully what it's going to be. It does say on the calendar insight for her time frame, along with Bayonetta. So yeah, it's going to be, I probably would hold off on insight until the actual release of, if you're looking to insight Zuggas, I would wait for Jean and then make your decision from there, because she potentially could be very good. The last thing, not the last thing, but the thing here we have here is a new training item. I do really like, I wanted to talk about this because I thought this is a great idea. For 300 paid, you get a Hyper Prism Christ Stone, basically unlocks everything. It saves you materials and whatnot, and 300 paid is not bad at all. It's a small support to the game. If you really enjoy Last Cloudia, I definitely don't mind it. Once per month, I would definitely not do that 7,000 though. Do not do that, guys. Do not do. If you want to, just stack these up. It's very nice that when you save all those items, because it is very expensive these days to build units, especially when farming gates and stuff like that. Let's see, and then of course we have the roadmap here. Like I stated before, we were talking about this. As you can see, the Bayonetta Redux collab, and then there is added on Insight. Now, the reason why I'm saying that is because Vaughn and Celios's are added at the end of May, and I'm kind of wondering if that is added for like June's time frame. But it looks like we're getting an Insight every month moving forward, so I'm definitely thinking that they actually might do Jean and Bayonetta, and then at the end of the month they'll do because the collab starts on April 30th, so it's the day before May. So that's what I'm thinking. That's why they put this here. And then popularity, that's what's telling me right here that this will be that's why she would probably be the third unit of the collab. So potentially 3 units for the collab. So it really is going to be a toss-up. We don't know how Lula is going to perform. We don't know who the second unit is going to be. So if you really want to hold off on Roland, that's totally fine. But Roland is very, 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 very good. As far as that's everything that's covered. I really do hope you take what I said into consideration, especially saving your tickets. I believe it's very, very important, especially for newer players. Now, I was thinking about doing a reroll guide video for you guys. I still might do it, but at this point, I'm just gonna kind of give you advice. Rerolling in this game is fun. It can be fun, but also be very annoying. At this point, that 10 spin gotcha step up is going to be insane. It kind of changes that a lot of the re-rolling process, like the 72-hour banner. It kind of changes a lot, because why waste crystals when you can possibly get a free Liliha or a free Adele, free Telio? So you know what I mean? It really just comes down to that. And by the time this ends, that 72-hour banner is gone. So at the end of the day, I mean, you really could just re-roll and keep re-rolling the free daily spin into a DOH unlocks and just go from there. You really could do that on the re-roll process. You can re-roll, I would get Goddess Kiss, the arc with Goddess Kiss, and then just a random DPS, whatever, who cares? And then go for, I probably would go, let me see, if you don't have a healer, I'd probably, kind of saying that. I forgot her name. Oh my God, I forgot her name. But yeah, I don't know. I really don't know how to for the reroll process. I'm gonna think of something. I'm gonna make a video for you guys on the reroll process, and I'll have to think about it to see what the best route to go for. But I definitely want to do a starter guide, because it is gonna be, there's a lot going on. A lot's gonna change here. Things have been a lot easier on quality of life, so it's really nice. But anyway, guys, I hope you guys took this, for what I said, seriously, because like I said, it's very important that you kind of follow those rules when it comes to those tickets. I definitely don't want you doubling up and missing out on some great stuff. So with that said, I'm going to be ending the video right now. Thank you so much, you guys, for watching. Sticking to the very end. I very do much appreciate it. This is my Discord. If you guys see, we are active in here. We play a lot of different gacha games to see. Last Cloudia, EC, Dokkan Battle, Honkai Star Rail, Wuthering Waves. We talk about it all. And especially just gaming in general. It is a gaming Discord. That's all we talk about in here is gaming. And sometimes the political leaks out of here, but we try to keep that under wraps. But gaming mostly, and we shut the other shit down. But guys, join the Discord if you guys want to have some fun. You guys have a great night, be safe, and I'll talk to you guys on the next one. Peace.